Hello, folks. This is Miguel from Embargo Man. Okay, how is it of Epcot's World Showcase without Japan? Like I already showed you the map in the beginning of the video. How is it? How it is that when I tell you about my previous video, I'm talking about Colombia, Greece, Philippines, and South Korea. Like when I see when I saw previous videos about phase 2 and about other parks. Epcot Center, like phase 2, where they have the other countries to add on. I heard that when they add about Spain, and this is one thing that Norway came out in 1988. For different countries, whatever it is, plus. For a matter of fact, this is where it goes and where it is. Like, it should have been, like, say, Greece, for example. Like, people saying, okay, gonna have the Greece Pavilion. Okay, replacing Japan with Greece. It's kind of awkward, but how I view it and how I show you the map right there, how I show you when I begin this video, and you see how things it is. And I think this is kind of ridiculous, because all it confronts to is going to be located between how I view it and how I did the map. Where's the South Korea Pavilion is going to be located between Italy and Germany. When it's located in between Italy and Germany, was gonna add in there, it's a little bit further, was gonna add in there more towards Italy, but is the Marco Polo exhibition. The Marco Polo Adventures attraction. It might be a simulator of what we're talking about, Marco Polo's journey, right? And at the end of there would make it more freely to talk about all this. Where are you going to talk about Laincourt, right? The thing about the Laincourt Rocks is like saying, I've been wearing Mickey Mouse watch. It's like saying that both these countries, even Japan and South Korea, even North Korea, trying to say that, okay, the Laincourt is theirs, is that since there's a whaling ship called Laincourt, there is gonna be asking so many freaking questions in the South Korea Pavilion. How I'm gonna say it? So more often, the other pavilions on phase 2, Greece is not going to replace Japan. But what is going to be in phase 2, how I'm gonna say in the petition, is there's gonna be Greece, Philippines, Colombia right there, right? So Norway is gonna be there, the frozen and all that stuff, right? But then you have all this thing about, let's replace Japan with Holland. That's where it goes, that's where it is. And maybe when we're talking about Warner Brothers theme park, where it goes, it would be a possibility that Warner Brothers will take over the Disney parks in Japan, if this is gonna happen, because this Laincourt situation is like saying even the Olympic Committee, they don't want the two countries about those two damn rocks, over two rocks, to discuss. Okay, it's part of Japan, it's part of Korea, it's whatever it is. It's like just those two rocks there. If you want to promote those two rocks, what it might be of something is you take away, put it in other words, it is, the thing is that once you go and promote your country, and there is Japan in there, Epcot, there's a Japan Pavilion. What it is that you shall not, or you want to plan to do the Korea Pavilion, you should not mention Laincourt. Do not mention Laincourt, right? When you're mentioning Laincourt, I mean, sadly to say, is you're gonna have a chance to give another country their pavilion and says, you know, Japan, get out of here. Boom. Like I'm gonna say they're gonna replace it with another country. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, there's our petition to see, they want to see the Greece Pavilion, but for like saying put the South Korea Pavilion in there. I mean, it might be a possibility if they want to be not to like phase out phase two. I mean, they'll be like, okay, gonna replace Japan with Greece, all right? But I mean, that's not gonna happen overnight. I mean, all it is, they're gonna just put it on phase two. Phase two, and I was thinking Colombia in there, but I have wrote a petition not to sacrifice the Japanese pavilion, the Japan Pavilion. Even though I wanted to go there, but then what's going on with this thing is you want to take Laincourt, the Laincourt Rocks. How they gonna name it? This is like saying, like I hear something about the Gulf of America. Just changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico. It's always been known as the Gulf of Mexico. You just compared it with Sea of Japan with East Sea. The East Sea. East Sea is just another name to saying, or saying the same thing as Gulf of America, right? So the East Sea, same thing as saying Gulf of America. But what was going on with this is that once you put a pavilion and they come up with the Laincourt issues, is like saying, okay, let's put the Argentine pavilion, and then the UK ones are going to mention the Falklands, right? That's not right. You know, that's not right. It's like saying you're bringing up issues and you're gonna freaking piss people off, and then to understanding to stop pissing people off. But in the long run, it would just have pissing people off to saying, oh, look what this pavilion is gonna do. Are they gonna say about this Laincourt attraction that is gonna come up, or how they're gonna plan to come up with this, is that they always going to answer a question: who landed, or what the Koreans called Laincourt. I mean, it's in Japan, the Japanese call it Takashima, Koreans call it Dokdo. I'm just saying, I was just going to the Takashima bandwagon, and in the Takashima bandwagon. Takashima is what the Japanese call it, but then put it that way, besides being called it the Takashima or Dokdo, is not to piss people off. It is just saying, instead of pissing people off, what are you gonna do? Okay, well, let's avoid some conflict. Let another country take the Japan Pavilion. What they gonna do, or what they gonna be a sponsorship? Either way, what's going to be, if you have a sponsorship who gonna represent a country, right? So when it represents a country, I mean, they want to promote something. But when they want to promote something, let's say South Korea want to be freely promote their Laincourt Rocks thing, and then they're gonna say who landed in the Laincourt Rocks, or what the Koreans called the Laincourt Rocks, the first European, and then that's what is going out of the Italy Pavilion. And the right answer would be saying it would be Marco Polo. Why? Because they just have evidence, or if it's could be true, if Marco Polo landed in these two rock islands that we called Laincourt, you know, that is known for Takashima in Japan, Dokdo in Korea. I mean, they just gonna say that in a way that Marco Polo might be the right answer and not Laincourt, as of Anglo-French whaling ship would be the wrong answer. The right answer should be Marco Polo, right? So that would be in question to just people get confused and they just say about where in the world would it say that. I know what I understand. Who knows about the Marco Polo Pavilion? They might even have a Marco Polo animated Disney and whatever would be making up with, like, you see, like, oh yeah, look at this guy. If we just went to Korea or whatever, blah blah blah, boom, whatever it is, and then they try to, I mean, just piss people off in the long run. I mean, I seen what it is, but then then they were like, if they could do that, then what it will happen? The possibility of saying that you want to mention Laincourt, the way as Korea calls Laincourt as Dokdo, right? If they want to just saying, okay, this is the, but one of the things of this pavilion, it could go to the future. Then, I mean, the latest thing would be, I mean, the history of that country, and about the, the Hyperloop experience, right? So what would be the Hyperloop? I mean, the Hyperloop thing in the Hyperloop simulator, it means that, I mean, like by 2024 around there, you're gonna, I mean, the first country in the world in their pavilion who are claiming about 2 rock islands that is even administered by Korea, by South Korea, right? That are going to be, releasing Hyperloop train, and that's what I believe that will be the first country in the world to take that type of technology, and they're going to promote it and all that stuff. That's one of the the latest attractions, or one of the most popular attractions in that pavilion, besides the first one being the Laincourt one right there, passing Marco Polo, and the right answer should be who's the first European to go to what the Koreans call Laincourt. When you say Laincourt is the wrong answer, Marco Polo is the right answer, right? So this is kind of crazy. And what might be the possibility to avoid all this thing? You have closing down the Japan Pavilion. South Korea is going to open their pavilion. And what they're going to do? I mean, they're going to pay a party Phillips to take over the Japan Pavilion. And then it's not going to be Japan Pavilion. After they close the Japan Pavilion, somebody going to be saying, like, playing the Dutch national anthem. I mean, they're going to replace the pagoda and Japanese gardens and the fish pond, koi fish pond, for like tulip garden, like a little small taste of Amsterdam and stuff. That was to be the Japan Pavilion, just because if South Korea want to put their pavilion and want to avoid Japan from their conflictions, just trade off the Japan Pavilion with the Holland Pavilion, the Netherlands Pavilion. Then, I mean, like, tourists come to Orlando, right? Even Japanese tourists, they want to just notice something weird. They're going to say, where is my country? And when they just talking about the Laincourt Rocks issue, when it says, this is something's going on. What's going to happen with these folks? It would seems like Warner Brothers may just take over the Disney park in Japan. I mean, they might just take over the Disney park in Japan for Warner Brothers, because South Korea Pavilion, to avoid conflict, replaces Japan Pavilion with the Holland Pavilion, trade off the pagoda for a Dutch windmill and a tulip garden and like a small part to make it look like Amsterdam and stuff. All it is so they could freely say about, look, this is going to be the attraction, talking about Dokdo, or in other words, how South Korea say about the Laincourt Rocks, or how the South Korean call the Laincourt Rocks, because I mean, this is gonna be like, that's wrong, whatever it is, you know, you're gonna piss people off, and then that's the first thing is that the possibility of Warner Brothers taking over the Tokyo Disneyland, or including Disney Sea, they might just call it the, you know, Aquaman Park or something, you know, Aquaman Land or whatever, or whatever that's, or yeah, I just tell them with the DC universe and Warner Brothers universe. I mean, all it is gonna be like, you know, changing everything, everything with Warner Brothers. I mean, Warner Brothers characters, whatever, and then I mean, what all might be the result of all things. Mentioning Laincourt, mentioning to say let's avoid conflicts with Japan, close down the Japan Pavilion, Holland takes over the Japan Pavilion, and what you're gonna result? Another Disney park in South Korea. I mean, I mean, letting, you know, mountain. I mean, the one of the most, yeah, letting mountain park or whatever. One of those, the theme, or Six Flags theme park with the most roller coasters, not letting a handle by having one more roller coaster, or like saying, and giving Cider Park a run for its money, turning that Disney park in South Korea to a roller coasters enthusiast paradise, right? So that means more roller coasters, more people who are roller coaster freaks, and said, oh yeah, let's go ride it, all because of mentioning Laincourt. Just to mention Laincourt. But I don't know, let me just take my tablet and turn it on and see what it is. All right, so I'm gonna be and I think it's Magic Mountain. Magic Mountain, it is the theme park with the most, it's a Six Flags theme park. I mean, I remember like Warner Brothers have a holding Six Flags. I mean, so what's going on is like, I mean, do you think this kind of nonsense really needs to be taken to a Disney theme park? I mean, this kind of Disney theme park taking that nonsense to Epcot Center, having a country, but when then facing phase 2, like, you know, like the map is just all it is phase 1 pavilion. All right, this is like the Korean point of view, how phase 1 gonna look like. But you know, it's in this camera, it's in this phone. I mean, it is what it is. No pun intended. You know, I mean, that I'm gonna just say that when that happens, I mean, I'm just gonna make a video about Warner Brothers theme park and what's gonna be with the Warner Brothers theme park in the following video, as I could say about, you know, Laincourt in the South Korean Pavilion and Epcot, replacing the Japan Pavilion with Holland. And I mean, the petition is there. This is just to to preserve the Japan Pavilion. Don't let South Korea tell them, okay, let's replace it with Holland, let's replace it with Greece. All right, like just moving away and let another Disney park, But I would say the Disney park that is going to be like the roller coasters enthusiast paradise. So. And talk about the roller coasters enthusiast paradise, right? So, I ain't seen any videos of roller coasters. Roller coaster theme parks and all that stuff. But this is how it is. This is what I hate about some Android products. It just closed. I just wanted to get the information. This thing is going to be like loading too much money. All right. Oh God, this is it. This is going to be theme park with the most roller coasters would be, and I'm talking about that, and it's talking about the theme park with the most roller coasters is Magic Mountain, right? So Cedar Park is the second with the most roller coasters, and then it has just 19 roller coasters. And what is going on with that, and what is going on with that is like, after just saying Epcot, all right, Magic Mountain, Six Flags Magic Mountain in California is the theme park with the most roller coaster with 19. Cider Park in Ohio has like 17 roller coasters or something like that. But then we're talking about, because I seen videos of Lote World or Loteland or something like that. What it is with this thing about this Laincourt situation, with adding on with all this thing, is that Disney might lose a park in one country, gain another one in one country. Why? Once you come up with the Laincourt Rocks situation, Laincourt Rocks, Laincourt, or what they call how Korea calls Laincourt, right? So what's happening there with Epcot Center World's Showcase without Japan means that there's a possibility that the Disney parks in Japan might be sold to Warner Brothers. Just the same, they want to avoid that, and if they want to say, oh look, this is Takashima, you freaking thieves or whatever. It is just a conclusion to say okay, it's just at the long run, just doing this. Like, okay, we don't want Japan to hear about it. Let's toss the Dokdo attraction. And plus the hyperloop, hyperloop simulator. I mean, and not suddenly trade off Bugs Bunny for, trade off Mickey Mouse for Bugs Bunny, right? This is it. You trade off Mickey Mouse for Bugs Bunny. That's what South Korea will do if they put in their pavilion mentioning Laincourt, mentioning that, okay, this is what we're going to destroy, what the Koreans call Laincourt. And to just avoid the issues, let Holland take over the Japan Pavilion, trade off the Japanese garden with a tulip garden, and change the pagoda into, the Japanese style pagoda into a Dutch windmill, and have some simulation to feel like you're going to Amsterdam. And that's about it without the hookers, right? So what it is that was going to happen is all of suddenly, if they're going to make a Disney park in South Korea, is going to be with 20 roller coasters, right? 20 or 21 roller coaster rides, all Disney theme based roller coasters, even Marvel roller coasters. What was going to happen with these roller coaster haven? All right, so that means that people who are roller coaster enthusiasts might go to the Disney park in South Korea, riding a bunch of roller coasters, and like Mickey Mouse roller coaster or whatever, Goofy, or or even Roger Rabbit, anything with roller coasters in it. 20 something roller coasters, it's like Cedar Park with more stuff, but with Disney characters, and even Marvel characters, or even have a better Space Mountain with 10 loops or whatever it is. That is all because of Laincourt promotion. Laincourt. This is over with this, and then what do you think? What do you think about this video? And I believe if once you have a pavilion, because the petition is there, the petition, you need to sign it. It is to add these pavilions, to add Greece, Philippines, Colombia, and South Korea without sacrificing Japan. And even Holland. Holland is another country, but Holland should not replace Japan. It says it replaces Norway. But if you're not gonna sign in, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna see that you're going to see your Disney park turn into a Warner Brothers park in Japan, and what was gonna have is impossibility of a roller coasters enthusiast paradise, that a Disney park in South Korea might just have the Disney park or the theme park with the most roller coasters. They even be hitting the Guinness Book of World Records, surpassing Magic Mountain and surpassing the fun factor of Cedar Park. Even includes Pirates of the Caribbean roller coaster, right? So that's what's going to happen in there, right? That is what's going to happen. Other than that, sign the petition, write me a comment, write me, what do you think? So write me a comment of this, because I believe that if one pavilion from one country should not mention Laincourt, is to save the Japan Pavilion. If you want to mention Laincourt, just take Japan out of a map, add Greece, add Holland, whatever it is. So write me a comment that I think that should not mention Laincourt. But if you think that Laincourt belongs to Japan, it should be called Takashima write me in a comment. If you think Laincourt belongs to South Korea and is called Dokdo, write me the comment. Each comment you say is your opinion. I might just answer your comments to say both of them. There is no wrong answer, just the answer towards your opinion. Even though Laincourt is administered by South Korea, but then you have to say that one country is too chicken out to just saying to claim the rights of a territory that they are controlling. I mean, that is something it is, but it should never be allowed that you want to go to Epcot, put a pavilion, replace Japan with Holland, and they're easily saying the Korea name of Laincourt Rocks, because I mean, this is it. Because if that could happen, I would say about Warner Brothers theme park in Japan, right? So goodbye, peace out. I mean, see you in the next video, and then we can all know for sure that one of these days, if you don't sign this petition, we would end up seeing Bugs Bunny being replaced by Mickey Mouse at the Tokyo Disney, and then what you have is Aquaman Park, or Aquaman Land, or whatever it is. Yeah, so goodbye and peace out. I mean, DC Universe themes is coming soon if you don't sign this petition. Bye, folks. And that's all, folks, to say if that kind of crap happens. Bye and take care.